Welcome to Learn English with Podcast. In today's episode, we would like to talk about Thanksgiving. It's one of the biggest, most important holidays in the United States. A day that's all about history, family, and, let's be honest, a ton of food. But have you ever wondered how it all got started? And what does it really mean for people today? Well, let's dive in. So, here's what we're going to cover. We'll start by going way back to the story of the very first Thanksgiving. Then, we'll see how it became an official national holiday. Of course, we have to talk about the Thanksgiving feast. What's on the menu is a big deal. After that, we'll check out some of the fun modern traditions. And finally, we'll wrap up by looking at the deeper meaning behind it all. All right, to really get a handle on this holiday, we've got to jump in our mental time machine and go back, way back, about 400 years ago, to see how this whole thing began. Okay, so the story that most American kids learn in school starts back in 1620. A group of English settlers shows up in North America, right? But that first winter, it was incredibly tough. We're talking about a period of real sickness and struggle. But when spring finally came, a local Native American tribe basically taught them how to survive in this new land. So, to celebrate their very first successful harvest in 1621, these settlers held a huge 3-day feast. And that big shared meal, well, that's what we now call the first Thanksgiving. So, who were these settlers? We know them as the Pilgrims. They were essentially a group of people from England who decided to cross the entire ocean just to start a brand new life in a totally new world. And the people who helped them? That was the Wampanoag tribe. They were the Native American people who already lived in that region. And their knowledge, how to plant corn, how to fish, how to live off the land, was, and this is no exaggeration, absolutely crucial for the Pilgrims' survival. Now, we have to be real here. It's really important to understand that this simple story of friendship, it's not the whole picture. The relationship between European settlers and Native Americans would later become very, very difficult and full of conflict. So, for a lot of people, Thanksgiving is also a moment to reflect on this much more complicated and often painful history. So, the big question is, how did that one single feast back in 1621 turn into the huge national holiday that we know today? Let's take a look at how the modern celebration really works. In the US, you can set your calendar by it. Thanksgiving is always on the fourth Thursday of November. It's an official national holiday, which means pretty much everything closes. Schools, banks, most businesses. And a lot of places stay closed on that Friday too, which creates a nice long 4-day weekend. And that long weekend is so important because it really tells you what this holiday is all about: family. The week of Thanksgiving is by far the busiest travel period of the entire year in America. I mean, millions upon millions of people get on planes, trains, and in cars, sometimes traveling thousands of miles, all just to be together. Okay, and at the very heart of all that travel and all those family gatherings is one glorious thing: the food. Let's talk about the Thanksgiving feast because it is legendary. And what's wild is that even though every family has its own little twists and secret recipes, the main menu is pretty much the same all across the country. The star of the show is almost always a big roasted turkey. And on the side, oh yeah, you'll definitely find stuffing, creamy mashed potatoes with gravy, that tangy cranberry sauce, sweet potatoes, and for dessert, the absolute classic is pumpkin pie. But the meal is so much more than just eating. This is where the holiday actually gets its name. A really common tradition is for everyone at the dinner table to take a turn and share something they're thankful for from the past year. It's such a simple thing, but it's actually a pretty powerful moment. All right, so beyond that amazing meal at the dinner table, the day itself is just packed with other traditions that have become just as much a part of the celebration. For millions of people, the morning kicks off with the TV on, tuned into the Macy's Thanksgiving Day Parade. It's this gigantic event in New York City, and it's famous for those huge character balloons floating down the street, plus all the marching bands and amazing floats. It's a classic way to start the day. And for any sports fans out there, Thanksgiving means one thing: football. Watching professional American football is a huge, huge part of the tradition. Just having a game on in the background while the family is cooking and hanging out, that's like the perfect Thanksgiving scene in so many American homes. Now, here's a really cool, more modern spin on the holiday called Friendsgiving. This has become super popular. The idea is simple for people who might live really far from their families, or maybe just for those who want to celebrate with their chosen family of friends. You host a Thanksgiving meal with your friends instead. It's just a really welcoming, awesome take on the classic tradition.
So when you put it all together, you've got the history, the family gatherings, the incredible food, the parades, the football. What does Thanksgiving really represent in America today?
Well, it really boils down to three big ideas. First and foremost, gratitude. It's a built-in day to just stop and appreciate the good things you have in your life. Second is togetherness. For a lot of families, this is the single biggest gathering of the entire year. And third is generosity. A lot of people use this time to volunteer at a soup kitchen or donate to charities to help others who are less fortunate. And finally, Thanksgiving also plays another huge role in American culture. The day right after it, known everywhere as Black Friday, is the biggest shopping day of the year, and it basically fires the starting pistol for the whole Christmas holiday season. When you think about it, from that simple harvest feast all those years ago to this huge, complex national holiday, Thanksgiving has always been changing. It really makes you wonder, right? With new traditions like Friendsgiving popping up and our understanding of history getting deeper, what will this holiday look like and what will it mean another 100 years from now?